Greetings, beautiful earthlings. My name is Star. If you are new here, I don't know how you found me, but I am super grateful to have you. And if you are returning, y'all the real MVP, you already know. So I know it's been a little while since I've done kind of a catching up video. So this one's just gonna be really chill, really laid back. I do have my window open, so you might get some random noises. Also, my baby child is in here with me as well. So this is just one of those ones for you guys who kind of want to know things that I do outside of tarot. If you're here for my tarot content, this might not be for you unless you want to learn about how tarot and deity work can go hand in hand together. But this one's going to be a long chatty video, so for you guys who don't like my chatty videos, this one's probably not the one for you. But we're going to be talking today about things I have learned recently from the chaotic witch aunt on TikTok. So a lot of you guys know I have just recently joined the world of TikTok, and you guys know I was fighting that one like the stubborn old bat that I am, and I started getting messages show up in readings about joining TikTok, and it was very frustrating that my guides were coming at me every which way, telling tons of people to tell me to join TikTok. It was extremely frustrating to keep getting, attacked by this idea of TikTok. So I did it. I did the thing. We'll see where it goes. But I'm actually really glad that I did get on there, because I finally got to really delve into the world of the chaotic witch aunt, because as a lot of you guys know, my Meet My Tarot Deck series is based off of the video she did talking about the personalities of her tarot decks on YouTube, and she doesn't have very much content on YouTube compared to the amount of content she has on TikTok. So if you guys like any of the stuff that I'm talking about here, definitely go check out Frankie. She's a lot. So my big three that I watch all the time is Chaotic Witch Aunt, the Witch of Wonderlust, and of course Marshall. So I will plug all of their stuff down there for you guys. Frankie, Olivia, and Marshall are always going to be go-tos when it comes to the world of witchcraft. And then, my good friend Wicked Witch of LA, that's always a good one to go to as well. So I do learn a lot, and I do kind of shuffle through them each, where I'll go on binge days of each of their content. And after I had gone through an Olivia content binge, I went to a Frankie content binge, and I went as far back as I possibly could in Frankie's TikToks. She has a lot, a lot, and I learned a whole lot of stuff. So for those of you guys who are kind of new to the world of deity work, that's what we're going to be talking about today. So I know I don't talk about it too very much, because as a lot of you guys know, I do identify as a Christian witch. I do work with the Christian God, and I do work with angels, archangels, and the legions of angels very closely. That is what I do most of my work through. But I have also recently started working with the Goddess Auset. As a lot of you guys know, I did make a video about that a long time ago, so I will link that in the description as well if anyone is just joining us and wants to see that video. So I kind of got to the realization that I'm not doing as much with my deity work as I should be, and that's because I realized I don't have as strong of a connection with the Goddess Auset as I did when I first started working with her. And I used to be able to hear her very loud, very clear all the time, and all of a sudden it seemed like that kind of started wearing off. Same thing with my angels, and then I realized I wasn't putting in the work. So it's not like you just connect with these beings one day and they're just never going to leave your side forever. You do have to put in a lot of work when it comes to things like that. So I was kind of doing the bare minimum with an offering bowl and water and things like that, and I did not realize how much ritual work and routines really help when it comes to deity work. So thanks to Frankie and all of her billions of videos of her doing her little candle, she has candles for each of her deities that she works with, and she shows the things on her altar often that she has given to them, and it's really helped me out a whole lot when it comes to offerings and that type of work. So I went out the other day and I got candles I got one for the Goddess Auset, I got one for the Happy Buddha, and I got a couple for my angels. I also have to find find the right one for my ancestors as well. And I'm thinking I might also need a spot for Kuan Yin over there. So I kind of have a little thing going with La Santa Muerte right now as well. And you know, it's more of like a moon ritual than an actual like altar place, so I have to explore that one a little bit more. But the Goddess Auset, or Isis, is like my patroness, I think it's called, where she is like the goddess that I work with the most. I do the most spiritual work with her, so I felt it was only fair that I learn how to actually do offerings and rituals and things with her, as opposed to just the very basic once in a blue moon type of ritual connecting and meditation that I was doing. I was I was very lazy with what I was doing, so it's understandable that she was kind of like, if you're not going to put in the work, neither am I, you know. So I have learned from Frankie, not only do you do the whole candle situation, so Frankie does it a lot, like often, and I have gone through the whole process of meditating with everyone over there and asking how often they would like me to do this. And right now they're saying at least once a week is okay, you know, just make the time to actually sit here, clean up the altar, do the offerings, do the ritual, meditate, connect, things like that. So another one that I have recently picked up from Frankie is dedicating tarot decks to everyone over there. So it's really blows my mind. I would have never thought of this, because I just did a video about rock casting, and that's how, you know, I connect with my ancestors and how I get their messages and things like that. And it's something I'm always going to be like working with and expanding, and I do really love the idea of dedicating a tarot deck to each of them. The second I heard it, Mommy Goddess over there was like, I want the white Newman, that's mine, I took it. So she has the white Newman now, as well as the golden constellations. Those are hers. I don't know if I'm ever going to like do readings on YouTube with them, because she has kind of claimed them as hers. She was like, that's mine, I like it, I want it, it's mine, because it's gold, it's pretty, there's a whole bunch of naked ladies all over it, it's gorgeous, she loves it. So that's hers, she took it. And I do have the Isis Oracle as well, and I have learned that she doesn't vibe too well with the Isis Oracle. And there is another video I was just watching as well about someone talking about how they work with Goddess Auset as well, and they said the same thing, like it just kind of doesn't vibe very well. It's very, excuse my wording here, this is the wording the OP used, but it's very whitewashed. And she said that the meditations and the ritual work and stuff like that are kind of not culturally appropriate and not very in line with like Kemetic work or any of the sort culturally. So it makes sense, it completely makes sense. And I have noticed like the Isis Oracle I use more as outreach. So when I feel like Mommy Goddess wants me to work with other people and she wants me to get a bigger reach, she will tell me to do readings with the Isis Oracle in other groups. Like she's made that very clear quite a few times. I've done it quite a few times where I'll just be like, free one card pulls, and I'll send you guys the meditations and the ritual work and things that go with it. You have to be willing to do the work, otherwise I'm not going to give you the reading. So we have done that, and I have made some wonderful connections with people from those groups that really wish to do the work with the Goddess Auset and who feel like they want a sister in her fellowship. So I really love that aspect of having that oracle. But when it comes to actually working with her one-on-one, bless you, she is very reluctant to use that oracle, especially now that I have dedicated another tarot deck and oracle deck. So we're not just using meditations anymore. She actually has an entire way of communicating with me outside of meditation. So we have a very strong connection through meditation, and I thought that that was enough. But you know, I do tarot, so it makes sense that that is another way that she would want to communicate with me. And sorry, she's like creeping closer and closer, and I don't want her to play with the tripod. So oh, the Isis Oracle. Yeah, she doesn't really, I've noticed, I've asked when we do the tarot reading and the oracle reading, I'm like, do you want to use the Isis Oracle? And she's like, I'd rather use this. And then she does the tarot and the oracle, and then she, you know, gives me messages and things. I'm like, okay, but is there anything you want to to give me from the Isis Oracle, and then I get kind of a and so I've noticed I actually have to go out of my way to ask, like, can you please give me a meditation or a ritual from the Isis Oracle to strengthen my work with you? And she'll be like, oh, okay, I guess you. But I have noticed, that's very interesting to me, that this person had made the extensive argument about that deck not being like culturally in line with the Kemetic gods and goddesses, and not really, you know, vibing with it, and saying it's kind of working with what you've got until there's something better. And I completely agree. So I love that Frankie has given us the tools of dedicating a tarot deck to them. So not only did I dedicate a tarot deck to Goddess Auset, I have also given the angels an oracle deck, because you guys know I have quite a few angel oracle decks. So there is one that they don't mind sharing. Like, I feel like the Goddess Auset is like, this is my deck, this is my deck, this is my deck. And the angels are like, we can share with everybody, just as long as you talk to us sometimes. That's nice, thank you. So the angels have a very, very, very limited little selection over there, and I feel really terrible because I do the most work with the angels, but the angels I find don't want much. Like, none of the angels, any of the archangels, they don't really want much. They're like, you put up a candle, you gave us a crystal, you gave us some oil, you gave us a deck. Like, that's more than we wanted, to be honest. So we cool. And then you know, mommy goddess over there is like, I want this deck, I want this deck, I want this deck, I want that necklace, I want that crystal, I want that crystal, I need this oracle deck, I also need this necklace. You could put that over here too, I like that, that's pretty. And there is another thing that oh, same thing, Buddha. I gave the Buddha the Kuan Yin oracle. He said that they work harmoniously. The energies of Buddha and Kuan Yin, they work harmoniously. So he said that that deck will work for communication with him for now. And he said it's also going to help me foster, you know, my relationship with Kuan Yin as well. So he doesn't mind communicating through that one, even though it's not his deck. And then I do have my place over there for my, you know, my Christian God, with my Bible, my prayer, my crosses and angels and things like that. So the other thing that I was saying before I thought to mention Buddha is, Frankie had also mentioned that you can dedicate a plant to your deity and use that as kind of a gauge of how you are fostering your relationship with the deity. So like, ask the deity clearly, you know, do you want to work with this plant idea? Which plant would you like? Of course, me being a crazy person, I have 40,000 plants, so I did kind of go through all of the plants to figure out which one would be the best. And I did pick my little jade plant, which her name is Gigi, and I did pick her up from like a walk. And the gardeners around here do a lot of trimming, as you guys know from my old videos, and they had done a whole trim and just kind of left all of the pieces all over the place. And there was a little tip of a jade plant just sitting there. It looked like it started to shrivel, but it still looked like it was doing pretty well. So I was like, I could probably save this. So I, you know, put it in some dirt, didn't expect much, and she has flourished. She's grown about 4 times her size since I had picked her up. So I felt like that was a really good indicator. You guys know I did have a calendula garden as well that was supposed to be for my mommy goddess, and it was kind of ours, where, you know, it died a couple times. She brought it back a couple times. I was really nourishing it. We brought it, you know, from seeds in the winter when that's not even supposed to be a thing. And they grew and they started blooming and they were doing really well. And then they just got completely overtaken by bugs, like completely. There were like just families of bugs in every single flower. It was really depressing to see, because that was my mommy goddess garden. So I was really upset, and I feel like, to me, it felt like I lost hope of working with her. Like, oh, maybe she's mad at me or something, and that's why the bugs took over the garden. Or maybe she feels like I'm not doing enough. Maybe I'm not doing this right. You know, it was very deterring to me to see that happen to the garden. But that's why, you know, you keep going, keep trying, right? So that's what I did. I got Gigi, I sprayed her real good with some neem oil and made sure, and I did a good check for bugs before I brought her inside. And I put her on Mommy Goddess's altar, and I had done a whole ritual of like lighting all of the candles. I did a good meditation, and I talked to every single one of them. It was probably like a good hour-long process, and Mommy Goddess was very happy with the plant. She was like, this is a good idea, it's very cute, I love this so much. And you know, she was a good nurturing mother. She was like, don't worry about the garden, it's okay, we'll get more, we'll do more, you know, it's not a big deal, it happens, it's an organic substance. So it was nice to like reconnect with not only Mommy Goddess, but the angels. Sometimes I feel like when working with the angels, it's a little one-sided. Like, I do feel called to do a lot of work with them and work on their behalf, but then sometimes I feel like I'm kind of talking to a brick wall, or I'll only get like one angel that wants to talk to me often, which is Archangel Michael. And you know, he's always been there from the get-go of my whole spiritual awakening. So I do have an Archangel Michael candle over there because he's the one that has come forward and talked to me and introduced himself. And you know, we've done tons and tons and tons of conversations and meditation. So you know, that's why I felt the need to figure out how to foster my relationship with Mommy Goddess first, because I've kind of dedicated my life to the Christian God, right? As you do when you work with the Christian God. And, you know, I feel like I have a good working relationship. I have a good ritual system with him already. I know he doesn't want to talk through tarot cards, so I didn't even try. And then I did kind of a double check with the angels. Do you think he would want it? And they were like, he's not. You're barking up the wrong tree there. But so the reason that I started working with Buddha, the Happy Buddha, is because all of my family has like always had statues and, you know, little things for the Happy Buddha around. And it's very interesting to me that they do that, but they don't work with him, right? So it's kind of like asking someone for something and not giving anything in return. So, you know, I, as well as my mom, as well as my grandma, we've all had like little, you know, like money trays for, you know, Happy Buddha and things like that. And I put together a money tray for my mom as well as for myself. And mine is more of a jar, so I interact with it more often. I put like herbs and things in it, like an actual money spell. And I notice sometimes it does get stagnant. So I went and actually like did a whole talk with him about, you know, what he likes, what he wants as offerings, how he wants to communicate, things like that. And he really, really liked my danbarite crystal that I have, which is fine because I don't work with it anymore. And I gave him my little Tibetan coral necklace that broke. He said, you know, that fits the vibe that I'm going for with him and Kuan Yin over there. And he said he really likes smoke, so I usually give him like a little bowl of water, but he said he actually really enjoys the smoke, so I did give him and everyone a good incense and Palo Santo smoke over there yesterday. So it was very, very nice to finally, all of that I was saying is just to say, like, it's very nice to finally like hear them again, to see the like happiness in the flames. So if you guys are not familiar at all with candle reading and things like that, it's a fun way to work with spirits. I usually, when I do my readings, I would have a candle and then I would also have a crystal ball, and I realized I don't even use the crystal ball. It's kind of just there for protection, and I actually use the flame more than anything. And I've kind of always been like that since the time I was tiny. I would just stare at the flame and, you know, just zone out for hours. So that's what I've started like really embracing lately, is like fire scrying and having each of them have their candles. It was very interesting to see that while the conversations were switching between each of us, the flame with their corresponding candle would start dancing. So it was very, very cool to see. Very exciting that like I'm not going crazy and that, you know, I'm actually corresponding with the people that I thought that I was. And you know, it's just it's a very good feeling to nurture that relationship and reinvigorate it in a way. So kind of the reason for me telling you guys this is, if you are working with deities and you feel like you're just kind of not getting anything, reevaluate what you're doing on your end. Are you not making time to communicate with them? Are you not making time to ask them what they want in return? Are you, are you giving them new things? Are you giving them things that you find? Are you making time for them? It's very, very crucial to make time for them. So what I've started doing is kind of just saying hi when I go over there. And I've made an effort to clean off the dresser area. Hi, Mama. Because it's a dresser. I don't have an altar area yet for everybody like I would want. And hi, Mama. So I did make the effort to go and just clean everything and really start thinking about it as an altar space, thinking that things that go over there are meant to stay there. They're not, it's not a dresser, it's not a working dresser anymore. It is an altar space now, and I need to treat it as such until we move and I get to actually dedicate altar spaces to them. So if you guys like any, if you guys like any of these ideas about, dedicating tarot decks to them, asking them about which crystals they would like to work with and things like that, and you would like more of an expanded video on that, definitely feel free to ask me. I do suggest meditating with them to ask, but if you are not good at meditation yet and you have started working with deities and you have questions, I would suggest using a pendulum. It's a very easy way of getting a yes or no answer. You can run it across certain items and ask the deity, would you like this on your altar? Would you like this on your altar? Do you want this as an offering? Things like that, and just kind of start nourishing the relationship. Also, the whole, getting a tarot deck, getting an oracle deck, things like that to commune with them is also a big, big help. So if you don't know how to intuitively interpret the cards as they give them to you, definitely do what I do, video record it, just because I hear messages differently through a video recording than I do in my head when I'm getting the cards. So you can always look back at a video, even if it's just for yourself and things like that. It's really going to help you interpret the messages. You can also send pictures to yourself of the spreads, and baby girl, hold on. You can also send yourself pictures of the spreads and put them on a computer and analyze them and type it out if you need to. That's going to help you out a whole lot. Any which way that you can look at it from an outside perspective. I used to call it like the mirror method, look at it as if it was someone else's. It's really going to help you a lot with interpreting it. So I really hope you guys enjoyed this random video. And little mama over here is getting dangerously close to all the wires and the tripod and everything, so I think I gotta be done. But yeah, also veiling is a good worship practice as well. So veiling is kind of just the idea of showing not only like your connection to the divine, but also to protect your energy. So if you are an empath and you kind of feel like you are just drawing everybody's energy in all the time, it's kind of like wearing a hood. So if you're the type of person that back in the day you used to walk around with headphones or you used to walk around with your hood up, it's essentially the same thing. It's kind of just veiling you literally from the energies that are around you, and it's a nice way to connect with your deities as well. So I did talk it over with Mommy Goddess and asked if she wanted me specifically to veil. She said I don't have to, but it will help with my psychic overload, and it will help me to connect with her stronger, because when you're veiling throughout the day, you're kind of like saving your psychic juices, and then when you take it off at the end of the night, you're opening yourself back up to all of that input and everything. So it helps you really channel that channel where you're getting the input from and when. So it's just like saving your phone battery until you really need it or something like that, if that makes sense. So you can do this with any type of headgear, any type of hat. You can use a beanie, a regular hat, you can use any old scarf, a handkerchief, whatever. And what I did with mine is I kind of like told it you know, blessed it, told it this is what its purpose was now, and I soaked it in Florida water. And then when I'm not wearing it, I do take it off and I put it on my altar, and, you know, I leave it as sacred. So I don't just throw it around anywhere. I don't just let anybody touch it, things like that. It is a sacred object, and I did charge it with hagstones and crystals and all of that fun stuff as well. So I hope that that gives you guys some ideas if any of you are like dipping your toes into the world of deity work, or if you've been feeling like you hit a wall with your deity work lately. I really hope that that helps. Like I said, check out the Chaotic Witch Aunt on TikTok. Her TikTok content is a lot more informative than her YouTube content, and it's in smaller bite-sized pieces, so that'll help a lot. But you know, if you guys don't want to do the TikTok thing, I understand. So I'm gonna go ahead and get out of here. That's what I've got for you guys today. I hope that that helped, and I hope you guys check out all my links in the description box. You know, there's tons of them. You can join my Facebook Tarot Readers community, Tarot Readers Unite. You can check out my Etsy shop if you would like to pick up any charmed jewelry. There is a Mother's Day sale going on until the day after Mother's Day, and you know, beginner tarot kits, tarot bags, things like that. You guys can send me a tarot or oracle deck to review if you would ever like to do so. That wish list is down there. The link to my friend Katie's candle store is also down there. And you know, all of my socials are down there as well. And I guess now I have to add TikTok down there. I'm glad I thought about that. So I really hope that wherever you guys are when this video reaches you, you have a beautiful, wonderful day. And I can't wait to see you in the next one. Namaste.